Hi guys and welcome to CrazyPeppera Revenge. This channel is all about crazy true stories, stuff that happens in real life when things get a little bit messy, people dealing with drama, cheating, lies, breakups, and even revenge. Some stories are wild, some are emotional, but all of them will keep you watching. If you like real talk and real situations, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. This is Crazy Pepper Revenge, where the stories get spicy.
This is all that's left of our marriage. Even the kids weren't mine.
I always thought life-changing revelations would come with dramatic confrontations or explosive fights, but mine started with something tiny, a piece of foil on our bathroom floor. It was Wednesday morning, lights off, just a shaft of sunlight across the tiles. I almost stepped on what looked like a small, round foil circle, about the size of my pinky tip. When I picked it up, one side was blank, but the other read Tuesday's pillbacking. Here's the thing, I'm 35, healthy, and don't take any daily medications. My wife Vanessa, as far as I knew, wasn't on anything either. We'd both had recent checkups, but the only daily pills we used to have were her birth control, which she supposedly stopped taking years ago after I got a vasectomy. We'd been married 9 years with 2 kids, James, 5, and Sonia, 3. The vasectomy happened because we decided we were done having children. So why the hell would there be a Tuesday pill foil on our bathroom floor? My gut told me to investigate before confronting her. I'm an engineer. I approach problems methodically. I needed proof before potentially blowing up our family over what might be nothing. I put the foil back exactly where I found it and went to work, but couldn't focus. Instead of reviewing contracts, I was researching private DNA kits and surveillance equipment. My thoughts had turned dark within an hour, but I needed clarity. If Vanessa was cheating, I wanted to know who, how long, and whether James and Sonia were even mine. I ordered everything online: discreet voice recorders, tiny cameras, phone cloning software, DNA test kits. Had them shipped to my office so Vanessa wouldn't ask questions. I felt sick doing it, but convinced myself it was necessary. Those few days waiting for delivery were torture. I watched Vanessa constantly, but she seemed completely normal. No changes to her routine, no suspicious behavior. Our bed life was the same, once or twice a week, usually before the kids woke up. She didn't rush to shower afterward or wear different perfume. If she was cheating, she was damn good at hiding it. Friday afternoon, I pretended to have a light schedule and went home early. Our au pair was feeding the kids, so I went upstairs and installed cameras in the bathroom, living room, and bedroom, the main spaces where evidence might appear. The bathroom was crucial for confirming if Vanessa was really taking birth control. That evening, after the kids went to bed, I swabbed their cheeks with the DNA kits, making it seem like I was just checking their mouths with a funny Q-tip. I swabbed myself too and mailed everything off. Results promised within 48 hours. While Vanessa showered, I snuck out to her car and planted a voice recorder under the seat. I also cloned her phone, downloading texts and emails. To my surprise, there was nothing incriminating in her digital footprint. Either I was wrong or she was more careful than I'd imagined. The weekend felt almost normal. Chores, park with the kids, routine closeness that felt more like a chore than love. I kept up appearances while internally falling apart. Monday morning, Vanessa left for work, and I told her I'd be working from home. The moment she was gone, I checked the camera footage. The bathroom confirmed it. She was definitely taking a small white pill at the same time each day. But the bedroom camera showed something that made my blood run cold. Saturday night while I was cooking dinner, she'd come out of the shower, grabbed a phone I didn't recognize, typed a message, then carefully hid it in the AC vent. She had a second phone. No wonder I'd found nothing on her official device. I needed to see what was on that burner phone. That night, after she went to bed, I checked the vent from Sonia's room. It wasn't there. She must have taken it with her. So I waited. A few days later, while Vanessa was in the shower, I quietly accessed the vent from Sonia's side. The phone was there. I grabbed it, raced to my office, cloned its contents in minutes, and put it back just as I heard the water shut off. My hands were shaking the entire time from adrenaline. The next morning at work, I finally opened the cloned data. Within seconds, my vision blurred with tears. It was exactly what I'd feared. Explicit text messages describing stolen afternoons in hotels, intimate details between Vanessa and another man. She joked about how I didn't suspect anything. They coordinated their meetings around my travel schedule. The man was never named, which made me certain it was someone from her work. I was sobbing at my desk when my secretary Michelle knocked and came in. She's a sharp, no-nonsense woman, a few years older than me. We'd always kept things professional, but she locked the door, handed me tissues, and asked what happened. I told her everything: the foil, the pills, the cameras, the secret phone. She listened without judgment, then said, "Gary, we need details and we need a plan." When I mentioned the DNA tests, she nodded approvingly. "Good. Find out the truth, then decide how to act." Michelle immediately arranged for me to visit our Portland branch, a trip we hadn't discussed. She texted Vanessa from my phone about an emergency there. Vanessa replied sympathetically, hoping I'd be back soon. Michelle also connected me with her friend Lorraine, a divorce attorney who'd handled Michelle's own messy divorce. I found myself in Lorraine's office within hours, still in shock. She explained my options: do nothing, file for amicable divorce, or go nuclear with infidelity charges that would devastate Vanessa and protect my assets. "I want the nuclear option," I said, my voice trembling with rage. Lorraine nodded. "We'll need more evidence first. I need that cloned phone to build a solid case." Michelle took me to a hotel, telling me to shower, eat, and stay away from the minibar. "I need you alert," she insisted. "You have to plan your next steps." But I couldn't think clearly. My life had just shattered. The only hope was that maybe the kids were still mine, though deep down, I knew better. The next morning, I got a text that my DNA results were ready. I couldn't bring myself to look. Michelle gently took my phone, loaded the page, and frowned. "They're not up yet. We'll check in a few hours." Meanwhile, I had to protect my financial future. Michelle reminded me that over 100 employees depended on my engineering firm. If Vanessa took me to the cleaners, the business might collapse, and all those families would suffer. We visited my business attorney, Brian Spencer. He reminded me about our prenuptial agreement. Every partner in the firm was required to sign one to protect the company from marital disputes. The prenup shielded the business from spousal claims, meaning Vanessa could only target my personal salary and assets. Brian's advice: buy out your partner Robert, who's been wanting to sell. Put as much liquid assets as possible into the company, even if it means taking loans. Keep your money behind a firewall she can't breach. I called Robert and told him the truth in one sentence: Vanessa's been cheating, possibly since day one. He agreed to sell most of his shares, keeping only 5% as a consulting engineer. At lunch, Michelle checked the DNA results again. This time they were posted. She read them first, her face falling. "I'm sorry, Gary." My hands shook as I took the phone. Both kids were fathered by the same man, not me. The children whose first steps and words I cherished weren't mine at all. I felt rage hotter than anything I'd ever experienced. "Stay focused or you'll lose everything," Michelle said, guiding me back to Lorraine's office. Lorraine had an update. "We have a preliminary PI report. Vanessa had a man over last night. We couldn't see inside, but we have footage of him entering with his own key." Later, reviewing the living room camera footage, I watched him walk in and heard my son, no, her son, shout, "Daddy Bill!" Bill Wainwright, Vanessa's longtime boss. This had been going on for our entire marriage. Lorraine cross-referenced Bill's name. He was a high-level executive subject to strict non-fraternization policies. "We can go after her company for that, and after him for alienation of affection, plus your wife for false birth certificate claims." I moved in with Michelle temporarily, not romantically, just because she didn't trust me to keep it together alone. We finalized the buyout from Robert, funneling my money into the company and making me appear almost penniless on paper. It was legal thanks to the prenup and timing. Monday morning, Lorraine filed for divorce on grounds of infidelity, fraud, and emotional distress. She also sued Bill's employer for failing to enforce policies and Bill personally for alienation of affection. Process servers delivered everything simultaneously at 10 a.m. My phone exploded. First was my mother. "What is this? I got your letter. This is Vanessa, your wife, the mother of your children." "They're not my children," I interrupted. "They're yours in every way that matters. You raised them." "It was built on a lie." "So you're just walking away, punishing them for what Vanessa did?" I hung up on her. Next was Vanessa. "Gary, we need to talk." "I'm coming home." I said nothing and hung up. 20 minutes later, she stormed into my office, looking disheveled. "Gary, I'm not interested. I cut her off. But I don't want to hear anything from you. You've lied to me for 9 years. Neither kid is mine, yet you convinced me to get a vasectomy while still on the pill so you could continue your affair with Daddy Bill. Her eyes widened in shock. So, no, I don't care what you have to say. Talk to my lawyer if you have something important to discuss. What about the children? What children? I don't have any children. If it were up to you, I'd never have any. I called the au pair in. You're fired. Pack your things and get out. Why? She asked. Because you were covering for her. You knew she was sleeping with her boss. I have video proof of you talking to Bill about the kids. Gary, you can't fire her, Vanessa interjected. I pay her wages, and I've already informed the agency you were involved in an affair. If Vanessa wants to keep you personally, she'll handle all your taxes, vacation, pension, and insurance. The au pair's face went pale. Being kicked off the agency's books made finding another position nearly impossible. What I want, I continued, is for you to pack your stuff, take your kids, and get out of my house. This is my house too, Vanessa protested. Not according to the paperwork. It's in my name only. Get the hell out. James walked in. Mommy. Sonia fell down. As Vanessa tended to Sonia, I stayed in my office. When she returned with Sonia in her arms, she asked, Are you going to say goodbye to— Don't even say it. She's not my daughter, and he's not my son. Take them to Daddy Bill and let him take care of his own kids. After they left, I completely broke down. Michelle held me while I wept. Hours later, I got an email. Vanessa had filed a restraining order claiming emotional damage, barring me from my own house. But Lorraine quickly got it overturned, pointing out I was the one who discovered the fraud. Vanessa moved in with her parents. Bill lost his job when his company realized he'd violated their policies and fathered 2 kids with a subordinate. The lawsuits flew in all directions. Bill's employer settled with me for a substantial sum. Bill personally paid for alienation of affection. I used the money to repay loans and sold the house, taking a loss, but desperate to escape that stage of betrayal. Weeks turned into a month. I refused to see James and Sonia despite Vanessa's pleas. Maybe it made me a coward, but every time I thought about them, I saw Bill's face. They'd forget me soon enough anyway. The day my divorce was finalized, I was at my desk reading the decree when Michelle called. Bill Wainwright is dead. His wife found him with Vanessa again and shot him. I stared at the phone, shocked. Bill would never raise the children he'd fathered behind my back. I felt no pity. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, I muttered. Michelle walked into my office with an envelope, the final settlement from Bill's share. I was now completely free of debt. Then Michelle closed the door and kissed me firmly, passionately. When she pulled back, my heart was pounding. For 9 years, I've taken care of you, she said softly. You're the most decent man I've ever known, and you never crossed a line with me, even at your lowest. I've waited for you a long time, Gary. I want to show you not every woman lies, and not every relationship ends in heartbreak. I realized I'd been blind to someone who genuinely cared, too focused on my marriage to see it. I remembered my doctor saying vasectomy reversals had high success rates. Fatherhood wasn't off the table forever. How many kids do you think we should have? I asked. She grinned. At least 2. But let's see where this goes. My life had been flipped upside down, but somehow a new chapter was opening. I'd always ache for the children I once believed were mine, but I had the chance to rebuild with someone who'd proven herself loyal. Maybe heartbreak was the price of freedom, and maybe that was a fair trade.